The decade-long Boko Haram insurgency in northeast Nigeria necessitated the establishment of the Northeast Development Commission to assist communities ravaged by the war. As an interventionist agency responsible for post-insurgency development in areas affected by the conflict, Yobe State is one of its mandate areas. Here in Damaturu, a foundation-laying ceremony for the construction of 500 housing units and mega schools is being performed. We'll serve you details on this episode of Impact Yobe. My name is Femi Akonde. Welcome.
The Inspector General of Police, IGP Usman Baba Al-Kali, has urged traditional rulers and people of Yobe State to embrace community policing in their areas due to its benefits in preventing breakdown of law and order. The police chief made the appeal when he paid a visit to Governor Maimala Buni at the State House in Damaturu. During the one-day weekend visit to the state, the IGP stressed that community policing will lead to a proactive force.
Here this morning, in my home state, on a one-day working visit. And I feel it is honorable, required, necessary to pay a courtesy call on you and your government. Your Excellency, Frank Mbadi Post-PRO has reeled out my CB, which he has been reading. But one thing maybe he has forgotten is that I started my career as a police officer in Damaturu when it was Damaturu local government. I was posted to Damaturu as an ASP 1-star on the 26th of September 1990. And I came in and started police job. So my experiences, my endeavors, my coaching started in Damaturu under one DPO, as at that time called Mr. Alao, who was my DPO. He's a very versatile police officer, well educated, well trained, in fact, Britain trained police officer. And all of us that were brought in that time for attachment under him, after finishing from the police academy, 5 of us, we all excel in the police. Presently, the 3 of us are all AIG. The 3 of us, 2 DIGs and 1 AIG, and myself. And incidentally, the other DIG is also from Yobe, and he's also from Bade local government, Baba Tijani. I was to come with him, but incidentally, he has engagements that requires his attention while I'm not in the headquarters.
The Inspector General noted that policing is going back to the old days when community leaders, district and village heads, as well as religious leaders were involved in security matters. He promised better stability in securing property and lives of all Nigerians, as President Buhari has given the police all the needed support to fulfill its mandate.
We came in at a very difficult time, but it is not all Uhuru. However, the crime situation in Nigeria, we all know, particularly for those of us in the Northeast, we have a cause to celebrate, and I think there is room for improvement, and it will be improved by the grace of God. The level of commitment of all the security chiefs are there, and the level of commitment of government to provide the necessary wherewithal for the security agents and the military to fight the situation is also yielding great result. Ours is to show commitment, ours is to show change of attitude, and what we expect from members of the public is to cooperation and understanding. Anything that goes up must come down. There are challenges always in everything. Even in your house, you must have a challenge. But it can be surmounted if you have the commitment to look at it as a challenge and confront it head on. I think we have every cause to look at this situation as improving and continue to pray and also do any other thing that will make it possible for us to enjoy better security and better management of our young brothers and sisters. On the issue of general security situation, we have better stability in the south-south and the southwest. We are making effort to see what we can do in the most volatile areas of north central and the northwest. These are places where there are a lot of problems for now. But I think in the last 15 days, we had recorded a lot of successes. But these successes are also had its own collateral damage. But we must bear with it, because if it will bring stability, I think it needs to be adhered to and it needs to be tolerated.
Responding, Governor Buni congratulated Alkali for his deserved appointment, being the first from Yobe State to occupy such elevated position in the force.
I'm delighted to receive the Inspector General of Police, Alkali Baba Usman, and his interest to the Government House, Damatru, on his way on this very historic courtesy visit. This is the first official assignment of the newly appointed Inspector General of Police to the state since his appointment in April this year. This visit, although official, is also a homecoming to the Inspector General, who is visiting his home state. I wish to once again congratulate you on behalf of myself, the government and the good people of Yobe State on this very well-deserved appointment, especially for being the first police officer from Yobe State to occupy this highly respected position of the Inspector General of Police. We are proud of you for achieving this excellent feat. As you are no doubt aware, Yobe is a front line and one of the three most affected states by the Boko Haram insurgency in the northeast. In spite of the gallantry of our security operatives and the complementary roles of the vigilante groups, thousands of lives and properties worth billions of naira were lost in over 1 decade period of insurgency. We are grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for the gradual return of peace and normalcy in the state.
Governor Buni reiterated that Yobe is one of the three most affected states by the Boko Haram insurgency in the northeast. While assuring him of government support at all levels, the governor appealed to the police boss to empower the state command to provide more security for his people. He appreciated President Muhammadu Buhari for sustaining the fight against insurgency and banditry in the country.
We would also like to reiterate our appreciation of the commitment of His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, in the fight against insurgency, kidnapping, banditry, and other related crimes threatening the corporate existence of Nigeria. However, I am optimistic that with the commitment and sacrifices made by the security operatives and support from Nigerians, Almighty Allah will continue to protect the security operatives defending Nigeria's integrity and will emerge stronger and more united. I wish to appeal to all security organizations in the country to develop and strengthen a working synergy while discharging their statutory functions. And I would like to assure all security agencies in the state that Yobe State is always prepared to support and work with you. The state government has also demonstrated this commitment through renovation and furnishing of the police headquarters in the state, allocation of 80 hectares of land to the Yobe State Police Command for the construction of Police Command Secondary School and Hospital in Damatru, and another piece of land for the 79 Mobile Police Unit at Buni, construction of A Division Police Station in Damatru, allocation of 10 new brands Toyota Hilux to enhance efficiency of Operation Habamaza in the state, and other logistical support. Let me take this opportunity to commend the new Inspector General of Police for his foresight in promoting the welfare of policemen by establishing a hospital equivalent to a general hospital and a police command secondary school in the state. We hope you will utilize your experience to promote high-quality service in steering the affairs of the Nigeria Police for a secured, more united and prosperous Nigeria. It may therefore not be out of place to request for deployment of more personnel and allocation of armored personnel career to Yobe State Police Command to enhance its operational capabilities as we are working collectively to sustain normalcy and end Boko Haram insurgency and other major crimes in the state. Finally, I wish you a very fruitful stay with us and a successful mission in the state and beyond. May the Almighty Allah guide you in the discharge of your responsibilities and grant you journey mercies to your next destinations and neighbors.
The Managing Director and Chief Executive of the Northeast Development Commission NEDC, Mohammed Alkali, and his management team joined Yobe State Governor Maimala Buni for the groundbreaking ceremony for construction of 500 NEDC model mass housing and mega schools. The event also witnessed inspection of projects at the Gujba-Ngalda Road and graduation of third batch of ICT trainees. In his keynote address, the NEDC Managing Director revealed that the commission is the brainchild of the Buhari administration.
I start by thanking the Almighty Allah for giving us the opportunity today, once again, to witness this epoch-making event in Yobe State. As you are aware, the North Development Commission was the brainchild of Buhari administration. The commission was established to address developmental challenges in the North region and to restore means of livelihood of the people following the over 12 years of insurgency. This situation led to massive influx of people into the urban areas, with most of them making shelter at any available public spaces, homes, abandoned and uncompleted buildings, and some in IDP camps.
Alkali shed more light on construction of NEDC mega schools in the state.
NEDC model housing project. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, you may recall that part of the commission mandate included rehabilitation and reconstruction of destroyed homes and commercial premises of citizens in the region. You may also wish to be informed that the stock of houses in the northeast states before the insurgencies was about 4 million, out of which over 500,000 structures, houses and commercial premises were destroyed or irreparably damaged. Even before the insurgency, there was housing deficit in all the states of the region. Therefore, the insurgency only further aggravated the situation. In all of this, Borno State being the epicenter of the crisis, it was affected and with the largest number of internet displays fastened. Based on the above, Mr. President, His Excellency Muhammad Buhari had earlier in 2019 approved a special presidential intervention in Borno State to eliminate the desperate situation that displaced community in the state had found themselves through the construction of 10,000 houses and establishment of technical and vocational skill acquisition centers for the IDP, among others. As part of the execution of this program, it was resolved that the NEDC undertakes the construction of first 1,000 houses fully fund the other centers. Today, I am pleased to mention that at the ceremony on 2nd September 2021, presided over by the Honorable Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, the 1,000 houses at Ngom Village, Mapalo government of Borno State, was handed over to His Excellency, the District Governor of Borno State. We were able to deliver a town with all amenities. The Commission, reflecting on its mandate, decided to replicate same in the other 5 states of the region by the construction of 500 houses in each state. To realize this, the Commission had earlier requested for and had received approval from the Yobe State government on allocation of plots of land for these houses as follows. Damatru, we have 250 houses, Buni 50 houses, Gaidam 50 houses, Potskum 50 houses, Gashua 50 houses, Nguru 50 houses. When you add up, you have 500 houses.
The NEDC Chief Executive Officer appealed to Governor Buni to make some allocations for newly trained youth in the state to enable them get sources of income. Alkali commended Governor Buni for the unflinching support rendered to the Commission in its drive to achieve its mandate.
Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, the construction of these houses will commence very soon after today's foundation laying ceremony by Your Excellency. The mass houses we are about to commence construction is of the colossal block style, which consists of blocks of 4 units of 2-bedroom bungalows with veranda and courtyard. Each block sits on 400 square meters with a fence separating each twin-facing houses, covered kitchens and toilet and bathroom, and some ample space for home living activities. Also, the following socio-economic facilities will be provided: street light, reticulated water system, commercial spaces, among others. Will create a town here again. NEDC Model Mega School Project. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, we wish to be removed that the Commission is also charged with the construction, reconstruction, and rehabilitation of educational sector infrastructure to address the high deficit in classroom blocks in both primary and secondary schools throughout the region. These deficits have meant that the region is the part of the country with the lowest literacy rate and highest poverty index. Low literacy and high poverty are recognized by experts to be among the root causes of the violent insurgency that bewildered the region for the past 12 years, and the situation was further exacerbated by the large-scale destruction of schools and losses in lives of youth, teachers, and students. The destruction of schools, especially where they have not been rehabilitated throughout the decade of insurgency, resulted in the truncation of the education of primary and secondary school students, and even where schools remain standing, widespread poverty coupled with insecurity rendered an estimated 600,000 young people unable to go beyond the primary or secondary school level. As such, millions of the out-of-school children in the region remain uneducated, justifying the need for massive intervention in development of school infrastructure. Consequently, the Commission resolved to construct 3 composite mega schools or upgrading of existing one in each state of the region, thus making 18, one each in each of the central districts. We are also happy to complement the physical structure with support like teacher training, curriculum upgrade, among others. In the same manner as with housing unit, site has been sought for and provided for by His Excellency as follows. We have one in Buni in Gujba local government, Post-Insurgency in Post-Insurgency government, and Gashua and Beda local government. God willing, we are going to have the foundation laying ceremony for this school in Gashua tomorrow. Plan over distribution of food and non-food items. The issue of imminent food insecurity in the region had been the matter of discourse for a long time. Recently, the United Nations Resident Coordinator in Nigeria, Mr. Edwin Kalon, on August 5, 2021, issued a press statement in Maiduguri on the need for the humanitarian community, the United Nations, and non-governmental organizations to join efforts to address the rapidly deteriorating food insecurity in the region, highlighting its manifest and latent consequences. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, consequent to the above, and in compliance with the pronouncement made by the Honorable Minister of Humanitarian Affairs on August 19 at the World Humanitarian Day events at the President Villa, Abuja, the Commission swung into action and came up with a plan for the distribution of food items to address the rapidly deteriorating food insecurity situation in the North East region, starting with Borno on 2nd September 2021. Today, as part of the strategy, we are going to hand over the following item to His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Yobe State, for onward distribution to our people of concern in the state. Bags of rice, 12,000 bags, 10,000 gallons of vegetable oil, 2,000 bags of sugar, 3,000 bags cartons of spaghetti, and 2,000 cartons of macaroni. In our continuous effort to the IDPs and other vulnerable groups in the state, we are also donating the following non-food items: blanket, 2,000 pieces, mat, 2,000 pieces, mosquito net, 2,000 pieces, mosquito handband, 10,000. Information Community Technology. The Commission vision for ICT development is to see a prosperous 21st century North East region with a robust ICT local content-driven industry that delivers social and economic services in a manner that enhances safety, stimulates wealth creation, and environmental sustainability for all. Already, about 2,400 youths were trained by the Commission in 2 batches across 6 states. Your Excellency, during our last ceremony on February 18, 2021 in this great city of Damaturu, we graduated 138 candidates and promised to train another set of 200 in the second batch. I am glad to report that 192 candidates will be graduating today from Yobe State. Thus, the Commission has successfully graduated 330 beneficiaries out of the 400 intended to be trained during 2 batches, and indeed, this is a lot of years for the state. To the 192 graduates, it's my pleasure to congratulate you all and urge you to utilize what was learned and be good ambassadors of the state. The Commission has been and will always remain committed to make sure that youth development is given topmost priority through training and job creation in delivering our mandate.
In his speech, Governor Buni described the ambitious recovery project as another milestone in the history of the state.
Laying ceremony for the construction of Northeast Development Commission 500 mass housing units. This is indeed another milestone in our collective drive to speed up post-insurgency recovery following over 12 years of nefarious activities of Boko Haram insurgency suffered by Yobe State. It is gratifying to note that 250 units of the mass housing buildings are to be constructed in Damaturu, while 50 each will be built in Buniadi, Potiskum, Gashua, Nguru, and Gaidam towns. The spread of this project across the state is a commendable drive by the Northeast Development Commission, which confirms to our even development pursuit in the state. Such complementary interventions will certainly go a long way in impacting positively on the lives of people across the state. As you are aware, Yobe State Government is committed to meeting the shelter needs of the citizenry as part of its effort of uplifting general welfare of the people. The ongoing construction of 2,350 housing units comprising 3-bedroom, 2-bedroom urban and 2-bedroom rural and all semi-detached with provisions of roads and fencing will cost 16 billion when completed, will be distributed to the people on owner-occupier scheme basis.
Governor Buni appreciated the NEDC for the construction of the Ingalda Road and Molecular Laboratory and the General Hospital.
The Northeast Development Commission, such as the proposed construction of Ngaldamutai Road, distribution of relief materials to victims of insurgency and disasters, training on smartphone repairs, computer graphics design, distribution of starter packs and startup capital to over 330 youth, provision of fertilizer and other agricultural inputs to the most vulnerable farmers across the state. COVID-19 interventions with ambulances, palliatives, molecular laboratory and preventive materials distributed to schools, security agencies and transport workers, among others. In the same vein, we appreciate the Commission's rapid response intervention projects across the 17 local government areas. I am pleased to note that the execution of RRI brought succor to the communities and increased the capacity of our local contractors and laborers while meeting the federal government standards. I cannot complete this address without calling on all the contractors to ensure the specified quality in execution and timely completion of the projects. Strict adherence to the guidelines of the contracts will complement our efforts of post-insurgency resettlement, rehabilitation, and reconstruction. It is also a pleasure to note that as a part of the activities lined up by the Commission today is the flagging off of the distribution of food and non-food items to address food and other humanitarian challenges in the state. I would like to enjoin the Commission to give preference to vulnerable people, especially those in dire need, in our collective drive at cushioning the effect of high cost of food in the state. In addition, I appeal to the Commission to ensure that no segment of the society is left out in the comprehensive program for bringing succor to the people. As peace is being strengthened across the state and the country, we should not relent in our prayers for full return of normalcy and prosperity of our state and entire country. May Allah give us bumper harvest and foster our unity as an indivisible nation.
The Yobe State International Cargo Airport, Damaturu, has taken a new look as the project nears completion. Inspecting the airport project, which is now at 79% completion, is under the supervision of the State Ministry of Transport and Energy. The State Commissioner for Transport and Energy, Abdullah Ekukuwa, who inspected the project in company of members of the State House of Assembly Committee on Transport, expressed satisfaction with the contractor. But the commissioner identified few gaps that need to be improved upon. Speaking with Impact Yobe Crew, the chairman of the committee says the facility is one of the legacy projects of Governor Buni-led administration.
So far, so good. What we have seen today, we have seen value for money. What we have appropriated has been channeled, and the foundation and all other project that is here, including the machines for landing and take-up, the machines for locating aircraft, and everything has been fixed. The control tower is almost at 98% completion. And all what we have seen is a qualitative and satisfied work. We actually commend this contractor for doing this job. Actually, I can access, there's some little observation we make, but to grade this project, we can say almost 65 to 70% at completion.
That's the much we can take on this week's episode of Impact Yobe. Do not forget to join us next week for a fresh edition of the program. My name is Femi Akonde. Goodbye.